For me.
Come on, Jerry. Yeah, forget it. You gonna put these on the internet again? Where are you gonna be?
I have it. You ready?
Head.
Where's my curl? Let's get you together.
They're all representatives of pilots.
Alan Bennett. Ah, you're.
Back my crown.
There's Kenny. Now, do we have anybody else? Am I missing anybody?
Which is the perfect
Now, we don't have a prize, but you can take pictures of them. If you and even that looks pretty good. I didn't even know you ever got married.
Nobody said he did.
Great to ask. Great grandkids. Let's go that route. Every class reunion I have personally tried to get Elaine to attend. This year I gave up, but I'm not going to bother. So what she do? She shows up. Elaine.
11 grandkids. Wow.
Well, is that hard to do? Help me out on another. Not very loud. We had one of our classmates' wives won an honor for the homecoming queen from Coeur High School, 1957. Eight. And she won this honor, and she donated it. And we, as the committee, decided that what we would do is give it to the person that we felt had come to the most meetings, not meetings, but reunions, and come the furthest, and have been a really stout supporter of the class of 56? Eddie, who did we choose?
Oh, yeah.
Dick Thompson. Dick Thompson. Dick comes from Connecticut every year. Yeah, sure. I feel highly honored. It's a short airplane trip.
All right.
Yeah.
Super. Way to go. Looks like leaving fit. You'll be the only one in your block.
I'm very touched by that. I cried at the opening of the Albertsons store. When this job came my way again. I would like to have all the committee members stand. In fact, if you could just kind of get off here by yourself. Really what we do, we have a class reunion almost monthly.
Communicating here. People way back there, you don't care anyway. We have two of our former teachers with us today, and it's my privilege to introduce one of them. This man was our music teacher for those of us in choir, not band, that was Gil Burns. But this man had a tremendous influence on my life, and I, just by way of trying to be as brief as possible, although I like to use a leather-bound edition when I talk, was responsible for my future of college and becoming a music teacher, and I taught music for 12 years, the public school system, in various places. So, when Coeur Burnett was ill, he asked me to direct the choir because they couldn't get a substitute in music. So, as a stupid senior, I tried to do my best, not knowing much about it, but I learned how to at least keep together on the same song. So it was really enjoyable, and I kind of liked that directive. That was fun, so I continued to do that. So I thank Coeur for that. The other reason that I'm very grateful for Coeur was that while directing, I had kind of a total command. You're kind of a director dictator, you know, when you're in charge of it. Yes, you are. That's the way it works. And I had a very wonderful dating history with lots of lovely ladies. Anyway, there was a sophomore back in the sophomore in the soprano section back in here, and while I was directing, I would wink at her. I actually did. I know, but I did. And that was Donna Dilworth, who eventually married me. And so I'm thankful to Coeur for those two reasons.
But what about the other 5 women that winked back?
Well, thank you. Oh, bless you. That was nice. That was a nice touch. Thank you. So I introduced Coeur Burnett. Coeur, please come up. Welcome.
I had the privilege of coming to the one 10 years ago too, if you remember, and saw some of my old students then. Old was a relative term. Now it is.
Still is.
I can see that. And as a matter of fact, I also have an invitation to go to the 50th of kids that I had in Deer Lodge, Montana in 1956. They were only freshmen, and yet they invited me to the thing, and I don't think I'm going to go because it's in September, but I've made a career really out of keeping in touch with former students, and my email list is about like yay. I have a great time with that and I enjoy it very much. And Roger's right out there at the top of the list, I got to tell you that. All right. We enjoyed Coeur d'Alene very much. I discovered that they really didn't want to pay teachers very well, so I looked around for somebody a place to go. I used to direct the Eagles men's chorus. Remember when they had that Eagles men's chorus? Maybe they're still going. I don't know. I directed that for about 3 years. I had the Presbyterian choir, and I had the Baptist choir, and I had the Methodist choir while I was there. And I taught all the vocal ensemble and the choir at North Idaho, then junior college. So I went to Ellisburg, Washington, almost 47 years ago, for more money than I made from all the rest of those. So you see why it was easy for me not to stay in Coeur d'Alene, although we really loved the place. We bought a house down on the fort grounds, and it was kind of heaven, you know. It was really great. But I keep in touch with people, and I've kept up with more or less of what's happening, and been very proud of Roger and all that he's done. And we used to stop and see them when we were going south in our motorhome when they were in the San Diego area. So it's been a lifetime of enjoyment, meeting and renewing friendships with former students. Thank you very much for inviting my wife Betty and I to this one. Thank you very much.
Tell you, I got to tell a story, and maybe some of you know this, maybe you don't, but Harold Evans was, you know, worked as a principal when I was in Maryland, senior. We skipped school 20th day of October 1955 and shot a deer. I was called, now this is
well, you wouldn't have shot it if I hadn't been stuck in the mud.
But here's the deal. Harold Evans, I worked in the office at the time, and Harold Evans says, Betty, come in here. Come into my office. And I went in there, and we just got a report card. He says, let me see your report card. Took it, he opened it up and looked at it. He reached down, and he wrote, hunting, 98. How many people could skip school, shoot a deer, and get a 98 for hunting?
I lived at McGee Ranger Station for many years, and at our graduation, he calls out Carol McGee Pedersen.